60 days on! Review! 60 days on! Alright, hats off, first of all, to the sheriff, Noel and Scotty. I forget his last name, the other assistant sheriff. They humiliated that pompous ass, that fucking ugly, skinny fucking dork Robert. The funniest part was when Sheriff Noel said, "You have a history of mental illness in your family?" And Robert got so fucking mad. You could see it. When they were questioning his manhood, he was so fucking disgusted. He went on there to try to make light of that jail and to try to make a joke out of it like he was a badass. He came out looking terrible. He came out looking like a pussy. Robert, if you're out there, you came out looking like a bitch. Your plan backfired on you. They were like, "Oh, the Robert we see now compared to the Robert we see last night." He goes, "Well, the power of pain meds." And they're like, "They give you pain meds for constipation?" He said, "Well, no, constipation's undiagnosed." He didn't even know what the fuck it was. He was like, "Well, I can assure you it's not crystal meth." I mean, Robert, for thinking he's so smart, he didn't even come equipped to deal with the questions that he had to know they were going to come at him with. He had to know that they were going to question that he was scared, not wanting to go back to General Bob. Listen, it doesn't take a genius to watch the show and realize Robert was terrified. He did not want to go back to Gen Pop. He was terrified. Anyone that watched this show knows that Robert was fucking genuinely terrified in that fucking jail. That's why he wrote the letter. He wanted to stay in, as he called it, his retreat. Because he knew no one could get to him. He loved it there. So Robert, whatever your motives were, they backfired. You came out looking like a bitch. So hats off to the sheriff. Now, they didn't play his game. They mind fucked him at the end. If you watch the interview, the closing interview, it was the greatest humiliation I ever seen. Sheriff Noel and that other guy, Scotty, they fucking just humiliated him. And Robert, who I supposedly thought was smart, looked like a bumbling idiot. He had no answer for why he was terrified. Now, as far as Zach and Isaiah go, boring. Zach's a model fucking prisoner, and Isaiah's just boring. There's nothing interesting about him. I mean, hell, his mom's had him when he was 13. When I seen him and his mom, it looked like they were a couple. It didn't look like a mother and son. So they're just boring. The women now, that's where it gets interesting. Barbara with that ugly ass. Look at Barbara's side profile. It's like this. It's fucking nasty. That's just an ugly fucking woman. And Tammy, she just looks like a slob. And then that Marianne, yes, whatever. She's mind fucking these girls. That's the greatest thing watching the women. It's just there's more drama there. I wish they had a show basically on the women's jail. It would be way better than the fucking men's. The men's are boring. A lot of drama in the women's thing. Tammy's a fucking idiot. And Barbara's just so fucking nasty looking. So goddamn ugly, unattractive. Oh, God. It's just sickening. And she's all crying about when Yaz made that thing about the short breast. So, yeah, Barbara, please, just take yourself out. You're just horrible. Take yourself out of the program. You're boring me to death. And then, that new girl came in. Tammy starts running her mouth because, she doesn't know how to shut up. And they're starting to realize that she's a fucking mole. I love it. So, even that Jeff cat was more entertaining. That little bitch that got bullied and quit because he was scared. He was more entertaining than fucking Zach and Isaiah. Robert, even in solitary, he was kind of entertaining. But he was not the best one on the show. That has to go to that Jeff dude for getting punked so much. As soon as Robert went out of Gen Pop, it kind of sucked for him. Because he knew he was going to be literally in a retreat. So he turned out to be a soft-ass coward. And like I say, my hat's off to Scotty Maples and Sheriff Noel for fucking clowning the fuck out of Robert when they were in that exit interview. They humiliated them. And as far as the women's go, that's the best part of the program now because there's a lot of drama there. And a lot of fucking all this bullshit. It's just hilarious. So that is my review of 60 Days In this week. Definitely worth the money just to watch Robert be clowned by the sheriffs. It was great. Great TV. Great show, too, by the way.